Okay, adventurous medical jobs flying, but not in helicopter EMS or HEMS, but in rescue, like air rescue. How do I do that? Well, first, I'd like to say that I haven't done that. Not that I didn't want to, it just wasn't logistically feasible from where I lived and my age, to be honest. So you can certainly get into air rescue in the military. I'm not going to cover that right now. The other options usually are with county sheriffs, search and rescue, in California, highway patrol, and fire departments. The thing about all those is pretty much assured that you need a paramedic license. You might be able to get away with a nurse license, but you'd have to really convince them that you can handle the pre-hospital components of it, which is just not taught in nursing school. The other thing is you need to have a lot of other skills, or you have to be willing to go learn a bunch of other skills just to be able to kind of do air rescue as a side gig, if you know what I mean. If you don't know what I mean, what I mean is, for example, California Highway Patrol, they have air rescue units stationed all over the state in a variety of little high-risk, high-volume places. But first, before you can even be considered for that, you have to be a California Highway Patrol officer. So you have to go through all that training, go do a beat in a car on the highway for a certain amount of time, have your paramedic license also be current, active, and have some experience, and then apply to get in that program. And you have to be under 45 years old, I think. So for me, that ended up just like not being an option. Because quite frankly, I didn't want to spend the time to go do all those things just to do the role that I really wanted to do, because I had not much interest in being a highway patrolman. Also, I was not super psyched at the age when I started getting into flying to necessarily go learn how to do all the fire profession skills that you need to be able to advance up into a flying position there. Because also, again, you gotta remember, the rookie recruit first year fire guy is not going to get put on the helicopter, usually, unless you're incredibly lucky. So probably the most reasonable route for most people is going to be hooking up with search and rescue organizations that have a hoist program or air rescue program associated with them, or working in for the county in an air rescue environment. And again, that might also require a law enforcement background, or it might not, depending upon how they run that program. I know there used to be a volunteer air rescue program in Oakland, East Bay in California. I know there's an air rescue program in Southern California that's volunteer. Beyond that, it's a lot of county sheriffs. But I've also seen other friends in other parts of the country that work near big wilderness areas that are volunteers in sheriff search and rescue, and they get trained on how to hoist and all that. So tons of cool stuff. Probably for most of it, you're going to need, like I said, paramedic license and experience working in the field. And honestly, like having your wilderness medicine certificate would really serve you, because there's so many times where you end up getting dropped somewhere and you have to deal with harsh environment, limited supplies, limited access to care, the weather change, you're stuck with your patient, and you really need to know how to deal with improvising and prolonged patient contact in harsh environments. Last thing I'll say about that is to remember to do your diligence when you're considering working or volunteering for these programs. Understand what the training will be. If you've already been a flight medic somewhere else, you're going to be well versed in crew resource management or air medical crew resource management. You're going to be well versed in just kind of all of the operational readiness and awareness stuff that you need to know. However, if you've never worked in HEMS before as a flight paramedic and you're going to try to get into flight rescue, do your diligence, ask around, get on Facebook groups, flight paramedics or whatever, and ask questions, because you really want to know what kind of training are you going to get. Are you going to get dunker training? Oh, there's Bo. He says get dunker training. It's definitely another level of risk when you talk about being in the hoist environment. So look out for yourself and go have a great adventure. Thanks for following along. If you like, please share. If I forgot something, please DM me. I'm happy to answer questions personally, or more questions I get that are the same, I'll make another video. Appreciate you. Follow, like, and share.